everybody, welcome back to another Panda Pal Squared presentation. Yeah, my voice got super high there for a minute. Today we have something really special for you guys planned. It's one of my favorite games ever because it has pandas. Just a panda. Full disclosure, just one panda, but he's awesome. Today we're going to be talking about, what is that? One of my favorite games, Takenoko by Antoine Bozo? Boza? It's Boza. Boza? Boza.
Antoine Boza.
That name is a lot sillier than I made it sound. I'm sorry, sir. It's a game for 2 to 4 players, and it lasts about 45 minutes. And it's awesome. And we're going to tell you why.
It's got pandas. Spoilers.
One panda. Full disclosure. One panda.
Panda.
Now you're just showing us a box cover. You're ruining the magic.
I mean, listen.
You can spin it now with your tricks. Anyway, we're going to talk about this game now. And then we're going to meet you back up top. Talk about those pros and cons. Why we love this game and why we don't so much.
Spoilers, we really like this game. So Takenoko is a game all about being the best gardener in the land and trying to keep a panda happy in order to impress the emperor. And it accomplishes this mechanically by employing these kind of hex spaces here for panda enclosures and allowing you to do actions on each turn to try and amp up your little encampment here and keep your panda well fed.
Setting up the game is really, really simple. You just lay out all the pieces of the game. So the hexagonal place tiles, the little gardens or different colored gardens. Your player mats, these are turn tokens. You'll see why those are useful in a minute. And then the different card types. That's the Emperor. The first player to complete all of their objectives gets that card, and it's an extra 2 points. I'll flip it over so you guys can actually see it. Very interesting facial expression there. These are plots. Basically, here's an example. You get 5 points if you have an irrigated set of pink tiles in that formation. You also have panda food tiles. Basically, you collect these 2 little green pieces and you turn them in and you get 3 points. And then you also have gardener tiles. Basically, have a hexagon with the little water symbol on it, and then 4 pink bamboos, and you get 6 points. We'll talk about this a little more in depth later. You have your fertilization tiles laid out, your enclosure tiles, and then the little special irrigation tiles. I don't think they're actually given a separate name. You also have irrigation blocks, and the board actually only starts with this initial little palace tile and then the gardener and the panda on it. So it's pretty straightforward. Just set everything out, have it within reach of everybody. Make sure you accommodate your short-limbed friends. That would be me and my group. And you're ready to go.
So each turn is broken down into 2 actions. Every player is allowed to choose from this set of 5 actions to perform in their turn, and we'll go into a little bit of detail on which one does which in 1 second. I would like to say that the first turn does differentiate because you do not roll the die, and we'll get into the die after we go over the actions from a basic sense. So we're going to move this card off because we're player 1. That's the only one that matters. So these are important because you can use them to mark which action you're using to keep track of it, which can help you kind of keep track of your own actions, also helps other players keep track of the actions that you're doing. So that's why it's got the little shape there. So let's go over what the different actions are. The first action allows you to add an extra garden section to your little enclosure here. So that would consist of you drawing 3 of these hex pieces and choosing which one you want to play. So In this case, well, we don't have any objectives that we're looking at, so we're just going to pick one. In this one, let's just do, I want to do a green one with a fertilizer encampment here, enhancement. And then you can take the two that you're not going to use and you can put them in any order at the bottom of the stack. So now we have our one that we're going to use. How do we place it? We have a couple of options here. We can place it in any space that is either directly adjacent to the little palace in the center, or we have to attach it to two sides of one of the exterior tiles. So like you can't do this. It has to be attached like here, or you could attach it here. And those are kind of your options there. There's other ones you can do. You could put it like there. The difference between where you place it matters whether or not it immediately gains bamboo. So if say you place it here, you're attached to the center palace. That means it's already irrigated. So you would place, normally you'd place one green bamboo here, but we have a fertilizer enhancement, so it gets two immediately when it's placed. We'll get into that a little bit in a bit. Let's get into our next action. Our next action is irrigation. So that allows you to draw one of these irrigation blocks and you can put it in your little irrigation section. So it's like your little pipe. And you hold on to it there. Or you can place it immediately. What is the point of this kind of a tile? Let's go under the example that we place this tile here instead of where I placed it. So you place this down and it is not irrigated, meaning it doesn't grow any bamboo when you first place it. Say you want it to grow bamboo. Now you can take one of your little irrigation blocks and place it from any irrigated tile to that irrigated tile. So in between right here on the ridge. Once you do that, this becomes irrigated. Sorry, not irritated. Irritated. It becomes irrigated, and now it grows the bamboo that it would grow if it was next to the palace section. Your next choice is moving your gardener. That's this little guy here. So even though he's got a different pose than what he has on the card. But he's a diligent little gardener, and he helps you grow bamboo on irrigated tiles. So if you choose that action, you can move him in a straight line anywhere. So you can move him to this one. And now you would get an extra yellow bamboo here. You could also move him up to there. You can move him to here. You cannot move him to the pink from the palace here. So, because it's on a slant there. So you can only move it in a straight line. So as far straight or as far straight. Now the next one. Hungry Panda. This allows you to move your panda. Again, this has to be in a straight line. So you can either move here, or you can move up to here. You can move to here. You cannot move here. So, say you move him here. It's kind of mean because the other player probably just grew this. But so you go there, and now the panda, really hungry, eats one of these pieces. So, this piece that's been eaten goes into the panda belly. And that can help you with the panda objective. Now let's look at the last one. This is the objective card. This allows you to draw a new objective card from any of the three stacks that you have to choose from. The gardener stack, the hungry panda stack, and the garden pattern stack. So I just talked about how the first turn differs from all other turns. Every turn after the first turn, you roll this die here. So you'd roll it before you'd even do your first action. And depending on what pops up, that determines what kind of weather is about. It's very ever-changing weather around this little panda encampment. So on your player mat, it shows you what the different weather conditions do to your turn. If you get the sunny weather, that allows you to do an extra action. So you'd be allowed to do 3 actions that turn. If you get the rainy weather, that allows you to grow 1 bamboo stalk anywhere on the board. So say you had this yellow one out here. you want it to grow on this yellow spot, you could just put it right there. Don't have to use any actions. Don't have to move your gardener there. This one is the windy weather. That allows you to do 2 of the same action. I didn't go over this before, but you're not allowed to do 2 of the same actions under any circumstances unless you get the windy weather on the die, or you get the question mark, which allows you to pick any of them. The next one is stormy weather, and the stormy weather scares the panda. Doesn't like the scary noises. So you can move the panda to any space on the board, and he just eats something because he's nervous. So he would eat that, and then that would go into your panda belly. And if you get cloudy weather, that is the only way you can get these little enhancement tiles. So once you get that, you can see here it shows you enhancement. That allows you to pick one of these and throw it in your little enhancement section here on your player board. You can use it right away, or you can kind of hold it there. It doesn't count as an action to put it down on a tile. And as we said before, if you get the question mark on the die, that means you can choose whichever one you want. And that one's going to be, in case you, towards the end game, maybe you need a specific tile that needs one of these, so you might want to pick cloudy weather, or maybe you want to be able to get a pattern that you're looking for, so you might want to be able to do the hex tile action more than once to make sure that you get enough tiles. Maybe you need to eat. So that one, the question mark is really important depending on when in the game it comes up.
But Panda Pals, what do you need these tiles for, you may ask? Elaine will tell you now. So, as Jeremy already explained, this is a fertilizer tile. You may need this to complete certain objectives. I'll get into that in a moment. This is the irrigation tile again, and this is an enclosure tile. That means Panda no naming. No swiping that bamboo. Ooh, I am not tipping that in a way that's easily visible for you guys. So, these are basically just going to affect the gardener objectives. I'm going to pull some out now, and hopefully I get some that will prove my point. Okay, here's the one I showed you guys earlier. Basically, you need to have this lovely little tile or the symbol. You see this one already has the symbol, or you could add it to a plain one to get that and add on the 4 little bamboo pieces, and then you get your 6 points when you turn that in. And it's important to note that you only have to do this at one point. Let's say I grew this piece of bamboo up over here. As long as I get that 4 at some point during the game, I've scored it. Let's say this panda comes over and it's like, nom nom nom, I love the pig. That hurt a little bit. That hurt my soul. It's like, nom nom nom, I eat the pink bamboo. You still get this. This doesn't go away because it's no longer on the board. You did that once, you're good. Okay. Let's see if I can pull another one. Oh, same type but yellow. This one means if you get 4 different little plots of green with 3 pieces of bamboo each, you get 8 points. That's crazy. So here's one. Here's one where you get the fertilizer symbol. You get up to 4, you get points. Not as many because it's easier to accomplish because fertilizer allows you to grow 2 at once. And this is affected by the rain. So if you get the rain on the die, you still get to grow 2, or if the gardener goes over, you still get to grow 2. There's one for the enclosure. I'm hoping I can pull one for you guys. I probably should have organized this. Oh, there we go. There we go. Before we did this, but that was the rest of the sentence. But I did not because I didn't think ahead. So you can just stick that on there. It's actually the only way you can get the... No, there's some enclosure tiles, but then the guy can't eat this, and it's pretty easy to accomplish your goal. I think as a whole and as a rule, the gardener tiles, or objectives, give you the most points, and they're harder to accomplish than the other ones, which is why they give you more points. I think the second hardest would be the panda ones, and they give the second most amount of points. A lot of them are these green ones that only give 3, but you'll also find ones like this one, the pink ones, which give 5 points, and I think it's because there are less pink hexagons than green. I think green is the most plentiful and yellow is the one in the middle. And there's also, here's a yellow one, and there's also one that gives a combination of the colors, one of each, and I think it's like 5 or 6 points. I want to say 6. Last tile is just like garden shape, which I talked about very briefly earlier. Basically, if you have 4 irrigated pink tiles in this shape, you get 5 points. Another example would be this combination, also a hexagon, but making it 2 different colors for 3 points. And just, oh, here's another hexagon. I want to see if I can get one of the simpler ones. Yeah, here's a simple diagonal irrigation, 2 points for doing it in all green. So there you have it. That's just a little bit of overview on the objectives. So now we want to take a little bit of time to talk about what we think about this game, why we like it, why we don't like it, our final rating, all that jazz. Do you want to start? Do you want me to start? How do you want to do this?
It's a Panda game. You should start.
Okay, so one of my cons for the game, and I don't have too many, is that these little bamboo pieces are not perfect. Some of them just don't fit together, like at all. Like the peg is too big and doesn't work out. And some of them just wind up, and you saw this earlier when it toppled, leaning a little bit, and then they topple, and you're just like, I'm not even going to try to put it together into an awesome bamboo stock, because they're just going to fall again, and I don't have time for that, you know?
Yeah, there are some that have like these little bits in them that they don't quite attach properly. There's like little dents and stuff. I mean, overall, though, I do like these as a concept.
Yeah.
Like, I think they're cool. They're better than, like, a lot of, like, the little... Normally you get, like, little acrylic pieces or something in most games, and I like these better. They're more authentic. They're authentic. Yeah. And you can take them and you can kind of, like, screw them in and make them tighter, a little bit tighter sometimes, but...
Righty-tighty, lefty-loosey.
Yes, exactly.
So I do enjoy that. I like the art overall. I really like the box art, the little gardens on the tiles. I'm going to lift one up. Look how pretty that is. So I like that. But I think my favorite piece overall is definitely the little panda meeple. I mean, that's freaking epic. It's a freaking panda. The gardener's a little derpy looking. His paint job isn't as good. His eyes look a little like, oh my god, I have a panda to take care of, and he's like a second emperor, and I don't have time for this.
He makes me think of like an Avatar: The Last Airbender character. Or like the cabbage merchant or whatever that kept getting his cabbages wrecked. That's him. He decided.
My cabbages!
Yeah, he didn't want to be a cabbage merchant anymore. So now he's like, I'm gonna take care of pandas. I really wish I had gotten in on like the Kickstarter version. Like the Kickstarter version had like that epic giant panda. I've seen it online. They have like a big version of the panda that's like ginormous
but
and a big
that would take
gardener.
up too much box. Like a box wouldn't be as shelf friendly with an extra giant.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. It just looks cool. Giant things are cool.
The other thing I was trying to find, and I couldn't find them, were these like extra. Maybe Jeremy can look through the pile and find them. We don't really know what they're for. They're just like extra panda art tiles.
Oh, I found them.
Oh, he found them. He's gonna show you now. These we don't know why they're in there. They're cute though. Mainly this one. This one kind of derpy.
This makes me think of like My Neighbor Totoro. Totoro.
I'm just gonna leave you hanging.
Totoro.
Yeah, with his little janky nails, but we don't know what they're for, but I like them.
Yeah, they're just kind of.
Maybe they're coasters, but I feel like because they're
wrecked.
Yeah, they would get wrecked, so they wouldn't even get coasters.
Well, let's talk a little bit about like what we like about the gameplay. Do we have any cons about the gameplay?
I mean, as people who have played this game a lot, I think we're starting to recognize patterns. We know, because there aren't a whole lot of different objective cards. We know what's in there. And I have a tendency to go after all the gardener things. And after a while, Jeremy, like if I'm starting to put all these yellow things out, will be like, oh, Elaine has one of those yellow ones where you put the 3 on the 4 of them and then you get like 7 points. I got to screw her up and put crap there so she can't get that. And just like, and then I just get trolled. Because he's a jerk, he just does the lame little, like, plot tiles, like a basic bro.
Yeah,
I mean these things, like, the layout.
Yeah, my strategy pretty much is the same in every game that we play, is I literally just go after these. And I try and stockpile them early, so then I can make them all, like, kind of go right. Because if you can see right here, you can build both of these and then irrigate them all in one turn and then have them, they both succeed at once. So, like, you can build up the board and have a bunch of your hex tiles hit all at the same time. And yeah, like Elaine was saying, when you have somebody building up on a basic tile and there's none of these enhancements on it, and they're just like build, and they're up to 4. If you place an enhancement on it, you just wrecked like 4 turns worth of work, because they're probably going for one of the valuable ones that requires... Like, let me see if I can find it.
Oh, yeah, we never went over that.
Oh, yeah, this one. Yeah. like, here's one. This is a green one that requires you to have none. This one is pretty valuable. It's a 7, but you can only do it if you have 4 pink bamboo. Here's the yellow. They're all in a row. So, but
convenient.
So, like, in this one, you build up the 4. It can't have any enhancement tiles on it. It has to be a plain tile. So you build up those 4. If you throw an enhancement on it, you just wreck that because there's no way to get the enhancement off.
Before they reach number 4. So if they're at 3, because like if I do it at 4 and then you throw it on there, it doesn't matter. I already got the points.
Yeah, you're right.
Like, I'll blow a raspberry in your general direction, sir. Anyway.
Yeah. So you got to just do it on the and the pink one. You don't have as many hexes usually of the pink, and some of the hexes.
Already established that.
Yeah, some of them come out with the enhancements already on there, so it can kind of be hard to recover.
Did you even listen to me give a review to the people? Like, come on, Cher.
Yeah. So like you were saying, there's patterns.
I mean, the one time I won the game was when I abandoned my typical thing and just went for the eating ones because they give more points.
Yeah.
I was like, nom nom nom, hungry panda, rub belly.
There is a lot of times where I'll win based on the hex, or I'll get to the last objective, and I'll have more objectives, but because I went for the hex ones, which seemed on average are lower points, and she usually goes for the gardener ones, she could actually end up with more points even though I have more objectives because hers are worth more.
Yeah.
So I like that little bit of variability in there.
Balance.
Yeah.
I think it is as a whole balanced pretty well for this kind of game. It's very easy to learn. Like, this is a very family friendly game. The box says 8+, but I mean, I figure like a 7-year-old could figure this out easily. Even like a smarter, calmer 6-year-old, because I mean, this game for someone who is very, very young.
I do like that they represent the different ages by the amount of bamboo. So it's like a 1 bamboo, 2 bamboo, 3 bamboo.
Yeah, and the panda people for the number count of players. But I mean, it is a very family friendly game. I think, like I was saying, a younger child could understand it. I just don't know if they'd have the patience to sit there and play this game for 45 minutes.
I will say that it scales very well. Like the 2 to 4. You can play it. It basically plays exactly the same whether you're having 2 to 4 players play it.
It's just easier to troll people. I find it more with smaller groups. Like, I get trolled harder with smaller groups. Yeah. Mainly because you know what I'm doing. Yeah. And Lakota and your mother and whoever else we might be playing with are just like, oh, no, I'll go here and I'll do this. And it's like, they don't foil me like you do.
Yeah.
Because you're evil. And I don't like
Well, we play each other in a lot of different games.
And I lose. I've only won this game once. The entirety of the time we played this game, I've won once. And it's not fair because this is a Panda game and I should win it by default. But anyway.
Lakota won one time, didn't he?
Yeah, but that's still not me. Like, is Lakota me now? No. Still not me.
But yeah, so like in terms of overall, what would you give it as a final score?
Well, but right before I get that, I want to say that the time is accurate. It does usually take about 45 minutes less if you're playing with fewer people, and it's a good amount of time. It doesn't feel too long.
Yeah, when the 2 of us are playing together, it usually takes about a half hour.
Yeah. That's what I said. That's less when it has fewer people. Yeah. Can you just, let me speak today? Okay, he's hiding because he's embarrassed now. But yes, I like this game. You like this game. Do you want to rate this game first, or am I rating this game
I
first?
give it an 8.
Well, fine. I give it an 8.8 out of 10.
An 8.8 out of 10?
Because 8 is my favorite number, fun fact. And now I give it extra 8s. It's not higher because, just these little... this stuff bothers me. Like, those little things...
8.8 is very high.
Little things tick me off, and this is something that ticks me off. Like, that's just a very basic thing that you could fix that hasn't been fixed. And some of their paint jobs aren't the best.
This game needs an expansion.
Yeah, it does. That would be great, adding more objectives, because they're just not enough. I feel like it's people who play this game constantly. Also, some of the paint chips off of them, so that's another little thing. And the fact that I just never win. I'm not a sore loser. You could say that. I lose all the gosh darn time, and I'm pretty good about it, but after a while, it's like, can I just win one?
I'll throw them to you next time.
That's what you say all the time. Full disclosure, I win about 1 in 25, 40 games, unless we're playing Shot and Cotton, which is a little more even, but as a whole, I do not do well in the gaming department.
I will hand it to you. Giving an 8.8 to a game that you lose 99.9% of the time. It's very impressive. It's very big of you.
Thanks, Jer. I feel so great about myself.
But yeah, so yeah, definitely we both scored it really high.
Love the components, love the art.
Love the components, love the art, love the theme, the
easy
little story
teach,
behind it.
Yeah.
It's very easy to teach. And yeah, so that's
Takenoko.
That's Takenoko for you.
If you
it's very light in the box, like you see how
that's
easily.
True too. And it's a pretty good.
I was telling you a joke and you didn't get that I was joking because it's an empty box.
It's also a good shelf size, which is nice. It's not like one of those obnoxious boxes or like the weirdly shaped ones like Stupid Deaths where you're just like, what?
It's like doesn't fit on your shelf. Like there's no way to. And I'll show you a little bit of the inside here. The components fit back in the box very well.
Yeah, it's very
easy to put away and take out, and like they have room for your fingers to dig down and pull the hex pieces out.
It's not Arcadia Quest.
Yeah. Oh God.
Did you see his face when I said Arcadia Quest?
I literally have 2 extra boxes for all the components to Arcadia Quest.
Don't forget the bags.
Oh yeah, I have a little slidey box that has like the miniatures for it, and then I have all the tiles and stuff in a bag separately because they don't fit in the box. I don't understand why. I shouldn't have to buy a custom box. It's okay.
Anyway, we digress. If you want this copy, or if you want your own copy of this super awesome game, check out the link down below in the description. It comes at no extra cost to you, and it really helps out the channel. If you like what you saw here today, give us a thumbs up. I personally love those. I think Jeremy really likes them too.
I like those thumbs ups.
Leave a comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell.
So you know what's up.
And we'll catch you in the next one. Bye, guys.